Let's take a look inside the new Cultivate What Matters 2021 Powersheets Goal Planner. I purchased Seafoam. This is my first linen cover. Super excited. It feels weird not to have confetti. I've always had confetti. So when you open it, there is a citrus blooms pocket in the front and a lovely little fresh start for 2021. I'm so excited to use this. You turn to the next page and there's a beautiful page of stickers. I love the stickers. I don't always use them to the fullest extent like I should, but uh, they're super, super cute. I'm going to try to use all the ones on this page in my prep work. The next page is a letter from Team Cultivate, and that's always fun to read that letter for us. New year, that's so funny. It's been a year, y'all. Challenging year, and the letter starts that way. Then we have the definition of cultivate, which is very important because if this is your first year using it, you're going to see that word everywhere. This is the page where you kind of like brain dump all of your goal ideas, and I don't do it that way. I save this sheet for the very, very last, and I take all my goal ideas and I mind map them out. And you'll see on my old Powersheets, I separate it into personal and business, and then I connect them all with lots of arrows and color coding. And you can see the color scheme is just a little bit different, especially with the lemons. That's part of the Cultivate theme. New this year is the color blocking on a bunch of the pages in the prep work, and it's beautiful, y'all. It is so fun. I'm an OG Powersheets user where in 2014 I started using them, and they were sent to you in a manila folder basically and printed, and you put it in your own notebook. So everything they write in here is really helpful, and I love to read through and highlight and make notes and stuff. This is a great page. I love it. It's where you kind of evaluate your life, and I'm excited that the pages are white instead of color blocked like last year. It was kind of hard to write on those. This little section is 4 pages that's been combined into just 2, and I'm very excited about that. I usually struggle with writing on those 4 pages. So I love this section. This is about like breaking out of your identity and like what boxes you in and what you think you can't do. It's really helpful. Y'all, if you've never done Powersheets, the prep work is intense. It shouldn't be rushed, and it's something that you need to take your time and do, but it really helps you cultivate your goals and realize what goals you want for that year. Excuse the shakiness. My table is wobbly. Okay, so this is one of my favorite pages, the yes and no list, and it is what you say no to and then what you're going to say yes to. And so I like to choose some words, and I will put the no and then the yes, like the word and then the opposite meaning on the other side. You'll see in my last year's, I did this. So instead of chaos, I wanted order. Instead of reaction, I wanted to plan quick responses. I wanted to be thoughtful. Instead of conflict, I wanted to be consistent. And I referred back to this a lot when I was refreshing my goals each quarter. So the next thing we're going to do is every year there's a letter that you write yourself, and there's prompts. It's like a Mad Lib. You fill it in. Usually this is where you do your word of the year, but they're putting that towards the end of the prep work, which I really like. I like to go back through all of my prep work and find the word that I wrote the most, and that helps determine what my word of the year is. And so that's nice to have that little letter here. I love this. All the prompts they give you are so good. Make sure you read everything. Every word is just wonderful. So then you're going to put your 8 yearly goals and then your vision board. I have a template below that you can download on Canva and create your own. I did that and I printed it out and I put it in there. And of course, nothing went as to plan, like nothing in 2020 did for anyone. One thing I am missing is this goal tab. Year after year, I would just put a sticky tab into my Powersheets planner and write goal on it, and I loved having that because I referred back to it over and over. And this year it's going to be the same, where I'll just stick a sticky tab in there and go back and forth to it. One thing about this year's Powersheets is it's a 90-day focus as opposed to annual. Yep, This is where we choose the word of the year. I don't know what mine is. I have no idea. I let my prep work determine that, actually. So, isn't it beautiful, y'all? It's just gorgeous. Everything they do is so good. So this is where you choose your yearly goals, and you put your yearly goal, you attach it to a why, and then you like decide what resources and what it attaches to. You answer a few questions. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be setting 4 mini goals that I can work on each quarter. And I'm trying to find in my last year's, I know they had this little like roadmap that you could fill in, like in this big section on the right, but I didn't really use it. And I think this year I'm going to, because I'll be able to set 4 bigger goals and then the action steps for this quarter and only focus on this quarter, which is kind of neat. So that one mini goal, there's going to be 4 of them above it for the annual to reach the annual goal, but then the action steps will change and the mini goal will change each quarter. I'm really looking forward to that. So then that, like all those action steps will transfer over to your tending list, which you'll see coming up. But you get to plan 8 goals, and a lot of people color code them. I do for sure, and that translates into my planner as well. I use an Inkwell Press planner, and I'll do that. I love this page. This is a yearly overview. Last year, I thought I was going to use it for like big content that I wanted to focus on each quarter. Instead, you're going to see I just wrote COVID everywhere because that's where we are. And it really changed a bunch of my plans, which was fine. We're all living through it. But I'm excited to use this yearly overview as the quarter master. Basically, this is my master quarter plan. This page is for wildcard pages that you can print off on Cultivate What Matters. They're awesome. You can order them too, but I just print them off. These, they're so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love that page. Choose progress, not perfection. So this is pretty much the same. Those 4 prompts are the same as last year's, and I believe the year before. Like I said, I've been using these a very long time, and I love them. The calendar is new as of last year, and I didn't do a very good job of using it just because I like to keep it separate from my agenda. So I used it as a content calendar for my blog. Sometimes I would put stuff on the sidebar, but I didn't. I really didn't use it that well. And I might just add like gratitude and that kind of thing. But this is a beautiful prompt for how to make your tending list if you've never used it. I haven't read through everything on here yet, but I'm excited to see what it says. So this is your tending list, and over on the left, you brainstorm your month. So this is totally different from last year, where this year on the brainstorming side, you focus on your monthly, weekly, and daily habits and business that you want to conduct. And then you switch it over into your tending list, which is also monthly, weekly, daily. Last year it was like, what goal are you focusing on? And then what action step? And so they all went together, which I liked. And then I transferred it over to my tending list. And I always started with the daily steps first. And those were the habits that I wanted to cultivate, which meant I had to work on things during the week and during the month. So the monthly part is more for like projects. Weekly is these are the things I have to get done, and then the daily is the habits I want to cultivate. This page is different too. There's a lot more room to talk about your favorite memories and people who you're grateful for. I love that. I definitely ran out of room a lot of months for that. So my other favorite little section is at the bottom where you say no to something and say yes to something. And that's where I would refer back to that one page on the goals about saying no to one thing and yes to one thing. So this is this section is new. There's always been a goal refresh, but they just kind of revamped it. And they made the life evaluation smaller, which is nice. And then the prompts different each month, kind of. This is mimicking the old Powersheets where there were more prompts for you to look back at your month as opposed to just like rewriting your goals each month, each quarter. These questions are going to really help you drill into like why a goal isn't working or, whatever. So then you can kind of rearrange. And then here, this is where you put your yearly goal, but then you choose a new mini goal and new action steps to go underneath it. And this funnels right into the April tending list. Y'all, your tending list is that monthly, weekly, daily page, and I refer back over and over and over and over and over to my goals and my action plans from my prep work, which is why I'm kind of bummed there's not a tab, but I'll just add one in there. It's not difficult to do. And so that's where I'll kind of like go over what I think my quarterly goals are going to be, but then they might be adjusted based off of the action steps and what I learn along the way. So that's really neat. So then it leads into the April tending list, and I really like that that's just all one section. Yeah, it's kind of fun. The pages are beautiful as always. The paper's wonderful. That hasn't changed. So one thing that is missing is each season there was a seasonal prompt, and in the spring you did a clear the social media clutter. You can see I didn't do them. I might peel them out of this one and put them in here. I do like to read them. They're really, really sweet things like that give you prompts to think about each season. And then we're going to flip to the back and see that they totally revamped the, that was funny. I said that, revamped the back of it. They always do a little like, look at the year in review, but this time you get to write a bunch, which I'm really excited about. And then there's new prompts for your year in review, like what song is on repeat, what was the best memory. And last year it was just celebrating each highlight, and so I would transfer those over from the monthly review. I would, whatever my favorite memory was, I do transfer over into the back. We're not done yet, y'all. We have 2 more months left. Keep going. It's always so hard in the end of October because people are getting their new power sheets and everyone is talking about doing prep work, and you just get really excited and you want to dive right in and skip over November and December, but keep going. I have a very specific way of doing my prep work. I do it with other people, and I'll be sharing that with you on this YouTube channel. So that's exciting. All right, let me show you the other things I purchased. So I did get the marker set. It's really beautiful. I haven't opened it, and I don't know. I haven't played with them, so I'm not sure how they work. But the colors coordinate with the color coding system. I didn't buy the sticker book for this year. This is last year's, and you'll see I hardly used it. I've been using it when I send cards to people, which is really fun, but I do need to get better about using it. Now they have the planner stickers separate, which is really nice because I never use those. I'm going to use them this year, though, and yeah, just keep this same goal setting sticker book. Then my favorite piece of all of it is this beautiful wall calendar, and I look forward to this every single year. It's like a piece of artwork, y'all. You open it up and there's gold foil everywhere, and we all love the gold foil. This is your fresh start. Get excited. The boxes are a little bigger this year. You have a sidebar to write things on, which I don't know if I'll actually do that, but I just like to look at the tops of them really and just glance over while I'm working and see a calendar. But I'm going to flip through and show you each month. So this is February. It is beautiful. Yeah, I definitely want to not print them out, cut them off and frame them because I can't get over how beautiful they are. Now I'm going to show you my favorite pencils and pens and markers and colored pencils that I use. I am a big color coder. I used to only use black and then, or I used to use colors and then, I don't know, along the way it changes year to year. So I usually write in black and then I will color code and use my pens and markers and colored pencils. A couple years ago, I watercolored inside my power sheets, and I really like that. My favorite pen is the Micron 08. It's a really thick, it's the 0.5 tip, and it's super thick. Of course, you can't see it here, but I really love that pen. It always writes smoothly. It's really pretty on the paper. Le Pen is another favorite, along with, I've never used this Sharpie S Gel. It's like the new big hit in the planner world. I'm excited to use it inside the gold planner and see what happens. I also love using a pencil. I'm a pencil fanatic, especially that pencil is my favorite. These crystal pens from Ball, they're super cheap, but amazing. We're kind of obsessed with them in my Powersheets tribe. Of course, colored pencils to mark through and scribble and draw, and then Crayola markers. It's like a little kid's coloring box. And then the Cultivate What Matters Papermate Flare pens. I have lots of these. They either, came from Target or came from Cultivate What Matters. So they're still my top favorite pen. I love them. I also use lots of highlighters. As you can tell, when I'm reading through my prep work, I highlight and underline and write all over it, just how I read in general. And yeah, these are my favorite highlighters. I love that Sharpie one because you can see through it. So, y'all, that was my review. Oh yeah, there's my watercolor pen. My watercolor brush. So I don't know if I'll do that again this year or not. It was really fun the one year I did watercolor in there. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'm excited to share my Powersheets journey with you.